What's up everybody, Smyers here. Today I want to show you to make the intro pad in the Synth Stabs to I Only Smoke When I Drink by Nimino. Alright everybody, welcome back to the channel. So I want to show you to make these two sounds from this song because this song has been going viral on social media and I thought these were some really cool sounds to know how to make. And so I tried to remake the intro pad and also these synth stabs that happened during the drop. Let's start with this intro pad sound. Here's the pad by itself. You can hear I have that noise on there pretty loud because I think it's pretty loud in the track. So let me just break it down for you. Let's go ahead and duplicate this and I'll show you how we can do this from scratch. This is going to be the MIDI, and in the MIDI I added in some of these like pitch bends occasionally, because I felt like they were happening in the sound. I don't know if it was like the sound was glitching or if he was like playing with the mod wheel, like a pitch bend wheel, and creating this modulation. So I made this in Serum. Let's just start from scratch and start with the default wavetable. So let's just adjust this release, increase the attack, take down the sustain a bit. Adjust this envelope too, make it pretty short, give it a decay about 250 milliseconds, take down this attack and release. And then I'm going to assign this envelope to the chorus tuning in oscillator A, hit Shift and Alt, take down this chorus tuning to -2, and this is what's going to give it that pitch up sound when you play a note. Where you have the pitch gliding up like that. Now I'm going to go into my analog basic shapes and do a square wave. Let's take up this level and I'll do two voices of unison, take down this detune. And then I'll just add on a PWM, take this up to about 45%. And then I'll add on a filter. Let's do an MGLO24 filter and turn on key tracking so that when I play higher notes, we get them a bit brighter. And it's a bit quiet now, so what I'm going to do is go into my matrix, and if you go up to this drop-down menu, there is an option to create a velocity to amp assignment. And what this does is if you play a note with a higher velocity on your keyboard, it's going to make it louder. And what I did is when I programmed in the MIDI, I made these higher notes have a higher velocity. So they're going to be a bit louder when I play them than the lower notes. Then from there, I'm just going to add a bit of EQ in here, just taking off some of the low end. And that's all I'll do in Serum. Then you can add on your effects. Now you can just go into the noise and add on your white noise, but I felt like in the track, I don't know what he used for the noise, but it sounded really loud and wide and almost like a vinyl noise. What I ended up doing is using the RC20, and I used this DC type, and then I added a bit of EQ on here. So you can hear what it sounds like with and without the EQ. Put it into an audio effect rack and then just blended it in with the original clean signal. And then after that, I added on a plate reverb, or like an ambience plate reverb. And then of course you can play around with like the filter cutoff. For different sections of the track. So that's how I made that intro pad. Really cool sound. I think I hear this in like this new wave of, I don't know if this song is like UK Garage, but this like new UK Garage sound where it's a bit more melodic, where you have these pads that have this pitch bend sound in the beginning of the notes when you play them, where the synth is sounds like it's ramping up. So anyway, let's go on to these chord stabs now that happen like before the drop and then also in the drop. It's the main sound of the drop. I don't know if this MIDI is right. It's took me a while to figure out this MIDI, but I think some of these notes in this chord here, ba 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 ba, I'm not sure if that was right, but sounded pretty close to me when I played it along with the track. So I'll just assume that those are the notes we're gonna go with. And this is all in Serum, pretty simple sound to do. Let's just go ahead and do this one from scratch as well. And let's initialize this preset. Go to my envelope 1. Let's add some voices of unison for my oscillator A and take down this detune to about 0.7. Then I'll add on some bright white noise. Let's go into my noise, add in some bright white noise. Now let's add on a filter. So I'm going to assign my envelope 2 to the filter. I'll slow down the attack to about 20 milliseconds. This is going to give it that wishy sound that you hear, or I should say like that swishy sound. And I'll do an MG low 18 filter, assign my envelope 2 to this cutoff, turn on the filter for A and my noise. Adjust this modulation. Then after that filter, let's add on some effects. So let me add these on one by one. Here's a compressor. Then it sounded pretty distorted to me in the track. I don't know if this was just because of how loud. It almost sounded like the stabs were so loud that the actual limiter of the whole track was distorting it. So just to replicate that, I added on a stomp box distortion. Then I added on a bit of EQ, just cutting off some of the low end and adding some more brightness around 4 kilohertz or so. And then I added on a hall reverb, which I feel like automates throughout the track. And you can automate like the decay size. And so I believe what I did, so let's play this now. I just made this all. And here was the first one I made. Yeah, so it sounds pretty close. What I did is for this reverb is, let me go to this one here. I believe I added on some automation to the reverb for this macro. So I automated the macro knob, but I guess I lost the assignment. So let's assign this one to the decay and assign this one to the mix. So you can do something like that where you're automating both like the level of the reverb, and then also as you automate the level, the decay also gets longer. Assign this to a macro knob and maybe call it like big reverb or something like that. So that's something that I just did. I think that happens in the track where the reverb mounts sound a bit different for different sections of those chord stabs. If you do want to grab these presets, I'll put them in my Patreon. If you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and give it a like, and also please subscribe to my channel if you are not yet subscribed. And if you'd like to check out any of my senior preset packs, head on over to store.smyers.com.